Hey everybody, it's Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life. Welcome to day 29 of 30 Days of Sketches 6. And I'm also going to be doing Loving Your Scraps with Daisy and Christy combined with this one, meaning that I'm using some scraps for my scrap bag. I'm also going to be using a whole whack of stickers from that Maggie Home sticker sheet there. This is something I did back this summer when I was trying to use up these sticker sheets. I came up with an idea to layer them kind of in a collage form and then go ahead and stitch them to kind of create my own handmade embellishments. So each little circle, I kind of find things that I knew layered on top of each other and kind of went well. And I do kind of focus a couple of them on certain color tones. So this one happens to be a little bit more on the pink side. I'll have one that has a little bit more on the purple side, a teal side, and a blue side. And I just kind of created a whole bunch of these, and then I would go with my paper piercer and punch the holes around them within the circles of that particular stencil that I'm using. And then I stitched them, and I love the effect that they come out with, and it's a little different for me. I'm not used to doing stuff like this. It's a little outside my comfort zone, but it's good to stretch yourself, and so that's what I went ahead to do, and it got stickers used up, which is another form of scraps. It can be. I've talked about this before. You don't have to think about scraps as just being your pattern paper. It can be anything in your stash that you want to use up that has already been touched a little bit, and it's now just sitting in your stash. That can be considered a scrap. It's anything that works for you. There are no rules in scrapbooking. Remember, you got to do what works. So that is how this layout is going to go ahead, and you're going to see me do this. This is super fast forward, sped up, because I'm doing the same thing over and over again, and then I'm playing with the arrangement. So that part's going to be sped up. And as you watch me do this, along with the kind of mixing up, trying to figure out how I want the layout to come together, let me just say thank you to every single person that has joined me this month. There have been so many lovely scrapbookers that have joined in. This is something I posted in the Inspirational Hop Facebook group, which if you're not a part of and you'd like to be, please let me know. We can get you added. It's a place where we get together to decide on what hops we want to do and just throw out ideas. It's a fabulous Facebook group. And I posted that probably late August, early September, so everyone could join in. I wanted this to just be a community experience this round, and I think it turned into my favorite round ever. So thank you to everyone who joined. Thank you to Moira and Crystal, who played along every single day, and everyone else, because I had pre-recorded most of these videos. Their links are below in each description of each day's video. So if you've missed anything and you'd like to see some different takes on the sketches, if you just go to the description, there will be a link to either their Instagram or their YouTube accounts. And so many people played. I would name them all, but I'd miss someone and then I'd feel bad. So just go to that day so you can see, if you've happened to miss them, what everyone's done. And it's been amazing. It's been so fun seeing everyone's different takes and how they kind of twisted the sketches up. And I've loved it. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you've enjoyed this round as well. I did try to pick a little bit of different sketches, and I feel like I did a good mix. So I hope you enjoyed that. And I hope if you've been watching, you had a chance to play along too, because it's always fun to use sketches in a way that's going to work best for you. All right, I have my handmade embellishments. That's what we're going to call these. Now I'm trying to make it line up with this sketch. I'm using this piece of pattern paper, which is from Maggie Holmes, and had some pre-stitching on it as well. And the stitching effect is there because it's the month of October. And kind of my product focus for my spending freeze is to use up my thread. So I'm trying to stitch on every single layout possible, but that just wasn't working for me. So instead I went in, and this is still my scraps, but these are larger scraps. And I just kind of made this square design, and I liked that. And I'm gonna layer the handmade embellishments on top, and it's extremely busy, and not something I would normally go for. Not exactly my style, but we're gonna work with it. And I have these photos from Mother's Day this year. And this year was, of course, a little bit different. No one could go anywhere. It was right in the middle of the lockdown for most of us and all over the world. And so I felt like doing something a little bit more bold and a little bit outside my comfort zone was fitting. And so we're going to just kind of go with it. However, this is a little bit too much. It's got no break point to it. There's no resting part. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of that off. I'm happy with the way that looks. I'm going to take it all off, use some white acrylic paint to just put a nice little whitewash where all of these elements are going to go. Now, that being said, most of it's going to all get covered up because I'm going to put the embellishments right back on top. But I know it's there and I still see it kind of poking through. So in the end, I feel like it was the right decision and I'm super happy with how it turned out. Again, completely outside my comfort zone. Maybe not my favorite layout in the entire world, but I do like it and I'm super proud of myself for doing something a little bit different. And I feel like, especially after I added the whitewash of this acrylic paint, if I was planning on doing something else, without adding the extra handmade embellishments, I feel like this would have been a really fun layout just on its own with that whitewash effect and then maybe something else kind of in the middle of that. And so I will see if I have this type of pattern paper or this collection of pattern papers, if I can do something like that again with a bit of a different design, because I feel like it would play really well into my style and doing something a little bit different. So we'll see if that happens. But there you go. I did the whitewash. I've laid it all back on top. Like I said, you can barely see it, but it does help. I feel like it gives just a little bit of a softening, and I don't know. In my mind, it worked. So I'm going to title this Super Basic Mother's Day. I'm going to let the handmade embellishments speak for themselves. I'm not going to do anything else, which is so hard for me to not add more to this layout, but it does not need it. I don't think it could handle it. What I am going to do, however, is help make it stick out and pop out a little bit by taking a black Sharpie and just tracing each of the pattern papers, the larger blocked pattern papers, so that they're their own thing and they're distinctive from each other. And it really helps break it up and just finish the layout off as a whole. And I'm super happy with the way that turned out. And I finished it off by simply doing a tiny bit of journaling, because you're going to see as I'm tracing this piece of teal paper right there, I put a little nick when I'm tracing it. And I hate when I do that. But an embellishment wasn't working. I tried a few different things and it wasn't working. So I'm simply in that little block right there going to put my journaling. And it's not much. It's just, I really cherished this Mother's Day in particular because of the situation that we were in. And I just kind of let that go. That's going to be my layout. So definitely a little bit different, a different take on the sketch. I think you can still see the sketch though. Let me know what you think. I'd love to hear what you think, and let me know about what you think of the embellishments. Is that something that maybe you'd like to try, or are you like, nah, that's not my thing. You're wasting too many pretty stickers. I'd love to know your thoughts on that. Please make sure to head on over and check out Crystal and Moira. And of course, everyone else playing below will be linked in the description box. Here's a look at my finished layout. Thanks everyone, and I'll see you tomorrow for the last day.